The sky of planet Korthel was on fire. Flames rose from the cities as giant black ships hovered above. The people screamed and ran, but there was nowhere to hide. The ships belonged to the Zarketh Empire, a cruel alien force that had already destroyed 199 worlds. Now Korthel was the 200th, high above. On the largest warship, the alien leader sat on a silver throne. His name was Emperor Vrax. His eyes glowed red, and his long claws tapped the armrest. "Status?" he asked. A soldier replied, "The planet is broken, my emperor. Resistance crushed. Cities gone. This world is finished." Vrax smiled. "Good. Another one falls. We are unstoppable." He stood and looked at the giant screen in front of him. One by one, the names of 200 destroyed planets lit up in red. He raised his hands, and the room cheered. "We are gods," he shouted. "No one can stop the Zarketh." But then, something strange happened. A second screen blinked. A soft beeping sound broke the silence. "Unknown signal detected," said another soldier. Vrax narrowed his eyes. "From where?" The soldier paused, confused. "From a planet called Earth." The room went quiet. "Earth?" Vrax repeated. "Where is that?" The soldier pulled up a map. "A blue planet in the Sol system, far from here. Not part of the known colonies." Another general spoke. "It's small, weak, only one moon, no galactic power." Vrax grinned. "Then it will be our next victory." But one alien didn't smile. A tall scientist in the back raised her hand. "My emperor, I suggest caution." Vrax turned sharply. "Caution? For a world with one moon?" The scientist nodded. "Yes, there is something strange. The signal is too perfect, too clear. It was meant to be found." It only said one word. Everyone leaned in. "What word?" Vrax asked. She looked up. It said, "Earth," just that, as if it was waiting. The room was silent again. But Vrax laughed. "A trap? From a child world? Don't be ridiculous. Prepare the scouts. Earth is next." He left the room with his guards. The generals followed, whispering and laughing. But the scientist stared at the screen. Her eyes were filled with fear. She whispered to herself, "That signal wasn't random. It was a message." Far away, in a secret Earth command center, deep under the Rocky Mountains, a group of humans watched the same screen. "They've taken Korthel," said one officer. A woman in a dark uniform stood still. Her name was Commander Alara. She had short black hair and cold eyes. Her voice was calm. "They sent scouts into our system after Planet 198. We let them look. We let them listen." Another officer asked, "Was it enough?" Alara nodded. "Yes, they think we are weak. They think we don't know." A young man in the corner looked nervous. "But aren't we weak compared to them?" Alara turned to him. "No, we are patient. We don't speak. We don't show. But we are not weak." She walked to a large screen, showing a fleet of human warships hidden in the asteroid belt. "Project Hollow Shield is ready." In space, the Zarketh scout ship moved slowly toward Earth. The pilot laughed as he looked through his scope. "Look at them. No defenses, no shields, a soft planet." He sent the data back to the Empire. Then, his ship suddenly stopped. All lights went out. The engines froze. He tapped the controls, confused. "What's happening?" His second pilot screamed. "Something is inside the ship." The walls bent inward. Metal twisted like paper. The air disappeared. And then, there was nothing. The ship vanished. Back in the Zarketh war room, the signal from the scout ship ended. "What happened?" Vrax growled. The officer stammered. "It's gone, my emperor." "Send another," Vrax ordered. One became 2, then 5, then 10. All vanished. Commander Ilara watched from Earth. "Just like flies into a web," she said. A screen beside her lit up. A voice came from deep below. From an AI system called Sentinel Omega. They will send more. Alara nodded. Let them. Back at the Zarkith Empire, the generals began to worry. This world is hiding something. They have technology we don't understand. Maybe we should choose another target. But Vrax slammed his fist into the table. Cowards! It's one planet. We have thousands of ships. We will erase it. He looked at his top warrior, General Varkas. Take the armada. Burn this earth. I want the sky black with smoke, Varkas grinned. With pleasure. Inside a hidden lab on the Zarkith flagship, a cage sat in the dark. Inside was a human. A man, scarred, quiet, but awake. The guard opened the door. We're done with you. Earth will fall next. The human smiled. You think so? The guard laughed. You have no chance. We are the Zarkith. We crushed 200 worlds. The human looked up. His eyes were calm. Then you'll understand when you lose this one. The guard hesitated. What? You've been fighting the weak, said the human. Now you face the last stronghold. The guard pulled his weapon. Shut up. But the human whispered into his collar. Send it. From deep in space. A signal was sent. The game had begun. In the shadows of Saturn's rings, Earth's hidden fleet came alive. One by one, massive warships revealed themselves, like silent hunters, and they were waiting. The stars would burn next. The stars above Earth looked peaceful, silent, still, but deep under the surface, Earth was watching. In an underground facility beneath the Rocky Mountains, lights blinked on walls of metal. Screens showed stars, ships, signals, everything that moved in the dark sky. Commander Alara stood in the center of the room, arms crossed. Her eyes stayed locked on one screen. It showed a red dot, slowly moving toward Earth. Another Zarkith scout, said a young officer beside her. Alara nodded. Let it come. The officer hesitated. Should we warn the public? No, she replied. Let them sleep. They don't need to know, not yet. Above them, life on Earth was normal. Children played in parks. Cities were alive with lights. People worked, laughed, and dreamed. They had no idea that a deadly empire was approaching. Earth had learned from others' mistakes. For 12 years, the leaders of Earth had watched the Zarkith Empire grow. They saw each world fall, one by one. No warning, no mercy. Each time, the Zarkith sent scouts, then warships, then total destruction. Earth had decided to wait and prepare. In silence. No messages were sent, no threats were made. Earth vanished from the galactic map. And while the aliens believed Earth was weak, the truth was far more dangerous. Because Earth knew. The scout ship from the Zarkith Empire moved closer to the edge of the solar system. Its pilot, a tall lizard-like creature named Dravok, grinned as he looked at the blue planet in the distance. Pathetic, he said. One moon, no fleet, no power signatures. His partner adjusted the scanners. Maybe they're already dead. No, Dravok replied. There's life, but it's weak. Look, cities, power grids, no shields. This will be easy. He laughed and sent a signal back to the Zarkith flagship. Target planet shows no threat. Recommend full invasion. But as soon as the message left the ship, the lights flickered. The engine made a strange sound. Something wasn't right. What's going on? His partner asked. Dravok stood. We're being jammed. Suddenly, the screen went black. All systems shut down. Outside the window, a shadow passed by. It was too fast to see, but it was big. Very big. Then everything turned dark. In the Earth command room, Alara watched calmly. Scout ship disabled, said the AI, Sentinel Omega. Its voice was cold, smooth, and without emotion. Alara nodded. Good. Send cleanup drones. The young officer stared at her. That's the 5th one. This week. Why don't we just destroy them? Alara turned slowly. Because we want them to keep coming. The more they see, the more they believe we're harmless. Another officer walked over. There's a problem. The Zarketh fleet just changed. Formation. They're moving faster. Possibly preparing for full attack. Elara didn't blink. Then we continue with Phase 3. He looked surprised. Already? Yes, move the civilians quietly, no panic. Over the next few days, strange things happened on Earth, but only a few noticed. In New York, entire buildings closed for maintenance. In Tokyo, people were told to stay home due to a radiation leak. In South Africa, trains stopped. Working and roads were blocked, but below all those cities, massive bunkers opened. Entire neighborhoods were moved underground, hidden from the sky. Children thought it was a game. Adults were told it was a drill, but it was not a drill. It was war preparation. Back in orbit, a hidden Zarketh spy ship watched Earth from afar. It saw no military response, no shields, no weapons. The pilot sent one simple message: they do not know. But the moment he hit send, his ship was pulled backward by something invisible. A long, silent black ship appeared behind him, its surface covered in strange markings. It made no sound, no lights. It opened like a mouth and swallowed the spy ship whole. There was no explosion. Just silence. The ship disappeared again. In the Zarketh throne room, Emperor Vrax shouted at his generals, "WARE is my scout?" "We lost contact," one said. Again. Another tried to calm him. "Maybe their planet has natural magnetic storms interference." But the Emperor slammed his hand on the table. "No more scouts. I want a war fleet on the edge of their system in one solar day." One general asked, "But are we sure they're harmless?" The Emperor turned to him slowly. His red eyes glowed. "They're Earth, one planet. Weak. We have crushed 200. What's one more?" But the truth was, Earth was never weak. It was just quiet. Back in the underground base, Commander Elara stood before a screen that showed Earth's most secret weapon, Project Hollow Shield. The camera zoomed in on a belt of rocks circling the planet, asteroids that seemed normal. But inside them were satellites, lasers, mines, beacons, weapons, hidden, silent, deadly. A soldier walked up beside her. "Do we activate them?" "Not yet," she said. "Let them come closer," the young man asked. "What if they send a full fleet?" Elara smiled for the first time. "Then they'll learn the truth. Earth doesn't start wars." She paused. "But we finish them." That night, on a hill outside the city, a little girl looked up at the stars with her grandfather. "Grandpa," she asked, "why do the stars look so still?" The old man smiled. "Because they're watching, waiting." "Waiting for what?" she asked. "For Earth to show what it really is," he said softly. She looked at him, confused. "Are we in danger?" He placed a hand on her shoulder. "No. Child," he whispered, "we are the danger." The Zarketh Empire had won 200 wars, but they didn't know that Earth had been listening, watching, and preparing. Now, as the Empire moved closer, thinking it would be an easy victory, Earth's silence finally spoke, and its voice would be thunder. The cold blackness of space stretched endlessly. Silence ruled between stars. But near Mars, something was moving, a fleet of 20 sleek ships, their hulls dark and sharp like the teeth of a predator. Commander Dravok led the Zarketh scout fleet. His eyes gleamed as he scanned the red planet below. "Look at this," he said, voice low and full of contempt. "No shields, no defenses, just waiting to be taken." His second-in-command, Zelra, frowned. They could be hiding something. Dravok laughed. "Hide? Against us? Impossible." The fleet moved closer. Their sensors found nothing unusual. The human planet seemed soft and vulnerable. "Prepare to land," Dravok ordered. On Earth, Commander Elara stared at the approaching fleet. On her screen, around her, officers worked quickly but quietly. 20 Zarkith ships, said an analyst. Approaching Mars orbit. Alara nodded. Hold fire. Let them make their move. A young pilot, Marcus, looked nervous. Are we sure about this? Alara met his eyes. We want them to see what we want them to see. Trust me. As the alien ships closed in, they suddenly stopped. A strange quiet filled the air. On the lead ship, Dravavuk frowned. Sensors are acting strange. Something's wrong. Suddenly, his ship shook violently. The lights flickered. A deep rumble echoed through the hull. What is this? Zelra shouted. Outside, the sky lit up with flashes. Bright bursts of light appeared near every ship. It's an attack, Dravuk growled. Raise shields. But there were no shields. Before the aliens could react, their ships exploded one after another in a perfect storm of destruction. On Earth, Ilara watched in silence. Deploying nano-mines in the asteroid belt, she ordered. Activate black hole torpedoes. The room filled with tension as the alien ships were destroyed faster than anyone expected. Marcus whispered, How are we doing this? Ilara's face was calm but fierce. We fight smarter, not just harder. The last alien ship was crippled. Dravok's voice was shaky as he ordered retreat. We've never lost so fast, Zelra said. Dravok clenched his fists. This planet is hiding power. But Earth's defense was not done. A screen showed the hidden fleet ships cloaked in shadow, waiting silently in the rings of Saturn. Let them run, Ilara said softly. We have more surprises. Far away, Emperor of Rax's war room fell. Silent when he saw the news. 20 ships destroyed. Without a scratch on Earth, his hand trembled on the table. Prepare the armada. But deep inside, a seed of doubt grew. Back on the crippled scout ship, Dravuk looked at his damaged controls. We underestimated them. He admitted. Next time, Zelra said, we don't stop, we crush. Commander Ilara stared out at the stars. Earth won the first fight. But the war has only begun. The stars watched back, silent and endless. The gas giant Saturn spun slowly in space, surrounded by its glowing rings. To most eyes it looked peaceful, just another beautiful planet in the dark. But something deadly was hiding in its shadow. Behind the icy rings floated a fleet of Earth's most powerful ships. Their hulls were dark, their engines silent. They were cloaked, completely invisible to any sensors. They waited, still as statues, like lions watching their prey. Inside the command ship, ESS Iron Will, Commander Alara stood with her arms crossed, her gaze fixed on the giant holographic screen. Next to her, Admiral Pierce tapped on a panel. They're almost here, he said. Ilara nodded. Let them come. Are you sure? Pierce asked. This is a full assault fleet. 500 Zarkith warships. We're outnumbered 10-1. Ilara didn't blink. Good. Then we won't miss. In deep space, the Zarkith armada approached Saturn. Their ships stretched across the stars like a metal storm. General Varkas, one of the Empire's most feared warriors, stood on the bridge of his flagship. He was massive, taller than any human, with blue skin and burning yellow eyes. He growled, We crush them here, no survivors, no mercy. His officer turned. Shall we scan the system? Already done, Varkas snapped. Nothing but gas and rocks. He raised one hand. Move forward. Begin the sweep. Back on the Iron Will, a voice came through the speakers. It was Earth's AI, Sentinel Omega. The enemy fleet is now within range. They have not detected us. Pierce looked at Ilara. Orders? Ilara spoke clearly, her voice calm. Phase 1. Fire the net. A dozen small Earth drones flew silently out from the hidden ships. They spread like seeds on the wind. Each one carried a payload, stealth mines, EMP bursts, and reflective decoys. They moved toward the enemy like whispers in the dark. On them, Zarkith flagship, something strange began happening. Sir, said the technician, our readings are flickering. One see false echoes. Multiple reflections, Varkas frowned. Explain. The officer looked worried. There are ships all around us. But they're not real. I don't know what's true anymore. Another officer shouted, shields failing on the lower units. Then boom. A huge explosion rocked one of the lead destroyers. Then another. And another. Panic filled the bridge. They're here. Earth is here. Varkas stood, his voice like thunder. Fire everything. But it was too late. The iron will decloaked with a roar. Hundreds of Earth warships appeared like ghosts from the mist. The sky above Saturn lit up. Laser beams shot across. The blackness, torpedoes streaked like falling stars. Alien ships exploded in every direction. Inside a smaller Earth cruiser, pilot Marcus flew fast between enemy fire. They're everywhere. He yelled, too many targets. His co-pilot laughed. That's a good problem. They launched a black hole torpedo, a special Earth weapon. It ripped through the enemy's middle line, sucking 4 alien ships into nothingness in seconds. General Varkas roared in rage. Turn the flagship. We fight them head on. But the flagship couldn't move. Its engines were disabled. Earth's nanomines had already reached its core. Suddenly, the bridge filled with a high-pitched sound. What is that? Someone screamed. Then silence. A massive beam of light from Earth's capital ship cut through the Zarkith flagship, slicing it clean in half. General Varkas was gone. Back on Earth, people still lived life as normal. They didn't know what was happening above Saturn. They didn't hear the explosions. They didn't see the fire. That was the plan. Earth fought its war in the shadows to protect the light. On the battlefield, the last Zarkith ship turned to run. Ilara stood on the bridge. Of the iron will. Let it go, she said. Pierce turned to her. Let it go? Ilara nodded. Yes, let them report what happened here. Let them fear us. She looked at the stars beyond Saturn. They wanted war. They got it. The remaining Zarkith ship limped into hyperspace, trailing smoke and sparks. Inside, a single survivor whispered into a recorder. They were waiting for us. They are not weak. They are not slow. They are not kind. He paused. They are deaf. Back at Earth's hidden command center, Sentinel Omega's voice echoed through the chamber. Enemy fleet destroyed. Earth remains untouched. Ilara looked up at the ceiling. And the galaxy? They're listening now, the AI replied. She walked away from the screen and said softly, Good. The battle above Saturn was over. The silence returned to space, but nothing would ever be the same. In the deep black of space, a new warship exited hyperspace near Titan, one of Saturn's moons. The ship was massive dark silver armor, sharp wings, glowing red lights. It moved like a shadow, quiet and confident. Inside stood General Coral Varkan, known across the galaxy as the Invincible General. He had never lost a battle. He had destroyed cities with a single strike. Planets had surrendered at the sound of his name. His skin was thick and blue. His armor was made of living metal. His mind was like a machine, cold, exact, and always 10 steps ahead. This time he came alone. Not with an army, but with a message. I will take Earth myself, he had told Emperor Vrax. Vrax had warned him. This enemy is different, but Varkan only smiled. So am I. On the icy surface of Titan, hidden human defense bases watched his ship approach. Commander Ilara stood in the control room of Outpost Zenith, watching the large vessel hover above the moon's surface. He's here, she said. Admiral Pierce replied. He came alone. No support, just his warship. He doesn't need support, Ilara said softly. He thinks he's a god. Is he? Ilara stared at the screen. We're about to find out. The Invincible General stepped out of his ship, walking across the frozen land without a suit. His skin cracked the ice beneath him with every step. He looked up at the sky and shouted, Earth! I offer you a chance. Send your strongest warrior. Face me one-on-one. No tricks, No ships, no games, just strength. The sound echoed through the canyons of ice. Inside the command base, officers looked at each other. This is a trap, one said. Another replied, or a challenge. Ilara pressed a button and activated the private line. Send her. In a sealed chamber below the base, Captain Raina Vale opened her eyes. She was not just a soldier, she was a weapon. Earth's first fully enhanced human. Muscles built from reinforced fibers. Eyes linked to battlefield AI. Nerves fused with lightning speed reflexes. She wore black armor. Simple. Tight. Deadly. You called? She asked. Ilara's voice came through the speaker. The invincible general is here. He wants a duel. Raina smiled. Perfect. The two met in the ice valley beneath Titan's shadow. Cameras from Earth's satellites recorded every second. Across the command room, soldiers watched in silence. General Varkan stood tall, nearly twice Raina's size. His voice was deep and proud. I expected a soldier, he said. Not a girl. Raina cracked her neck. You're about to wish I was a soldier. He laughed. No human has ever scratched me, let alone beaten me. Raina raised her fists. Then today is special. The fight began with a blur of motion. Varkan charged like a storm, his fists crashing down. Raina dodged, slid under his arm, and delivered a spinning kick to his side. He barely flinched. You're fast, he said, but not strong enough. He punched the ground near her feet, sending her flying backward. She rolled, bounced, and landed on one knee. That all you've got? She said, grinning. She moved again, faster this time, her fist glowing with heat. She struck his face. For the first time, he stepped back. He wiped his mouth. You made me bleed. Raina smirked. Told you it was a special day. The battle raged on. They crashed into the ice. Sparks flew. Craters formed beneath them, fist against fist. Speed against power. Inside the command center, tension built. Come on, Raina, Pierce whispered. Don't let him win. Ilara said nothing. Her eyes stayed locked on the screen. Back on the field, Varkan was slowing down. He breathed harder now. His blows missed more often. Raina's movements had changed, less flashy, more precise. You studied me, Varkan said. You know my moves. I studied everything, she replied. Even your losses, he growled. I have no losses. You do now. She jumped, spinning midair, and struck him in the chest with full force. A pulse of energy exploded outwards. His armor cracked. He dropped to one knee. She walked slowly toward him. You fight with pride. I fight with purpose. He tried to rise. She raised her fist. And Earth doesn't lose. Her punch hit his core. Silence followed. Then his body fell heavy, lifeless. Beaten. The screen in the command room froze on the image of the fallen general. Someone gasped. Another clapped. Pierce sat down, stunned. Elara finally spoke. Get his body, we send it back. Pierce turned. Why? So they know, she said. Even their strongest isn't strong enough. In the Zarkith capital, Emperor of Rax received the black pod. Inside lay the body of the one they called invincible. Silence filled the throne room. One general whispered, "What now?" Vrax stared down at the body. His claws gripped the armrest. He said nothing because he finally understood. Earth had changed the game. Raina stood back on Earth, watching the stars from a rooftop. A soft wind moved through her hair. A technician walked over. "You okay?" She nodded. "Yeah, just thinking." "About what?" She didn't look away. "About the next one." Far above, in the cold night sky, the stars shimmered, and the galaxy knew. The invincible had fallen, and Earth was just getting started. The stars burned cold above Earth. A week had passed since General Varkan fell on Titan's ice. The galaxy was watching now. Watching Earth, watching what humans would do next. They didn't have to wait long. In a hidden underground base beneath Antarctica, high-ranking officers sat in silence. Holograms floated in the air, maps, faces, battle reports. Zarkith forces have moved 50 dreadnoughts to Sector 12, said Admiral Pierce. They want revenge, replied Commander Alara. But this time, we won't wait. General Mendez stood up slowly. No more defense, no more retreat. We strike back. The room TENSED. Captain Raina Vale, still bruised from her fight with Varkan, crossed her arms. Where? Mendez tapped a command. A red star appeared on the holomap, Zarthus Prime, their forward command base. It supplies weapons, fuel, and intel to half their fleet. High risk, Ilara said. Heavily defended, multiple shield grids. Exactly, Mendez said. They'll never expect a direct hit, Rena smiled. Good. 3 days later, in orbit above Mars, Earth's strike fleet gathered. Sleek warships with black hulls and silent drives. Carriers, interceptors, stealth cruisers. Thousands of human soldiers stood ready. Inside the main command ship, Rena put on her suit. Feeling ready? Asked Tech Officer Juno. Rena checked her weapons. I've been waiting for this. You're leading Ground Team 1, Juno said. Your job is simple. Get in, destroy the shield core, and get out. Rena raised an eyebrow. Simple? Juno shrugged. In theory. The fleet jumped. Stars blurred. Moments later, they emerged near Zarthus Prima, planet wrapped in thick red clouds and guarded by dozens of defense rings. The enemy didn't see them coming. Earth ships scattered like blades, firing at once, targets locked. Shields collapsing on outer ring. We're through. But then, warning, new energy spike. The planet's surface glowed. From under the clouds. 3 Oblivion cannons rose, massive weapons powered by stars. They fired. 1 Earth cruiser vanished in fire. Evasive maneuvers. Someone yelled. Admiral Pierce's voice cut through. Ground teams, deploy now. We can't hold long. Rena's drop pods slammed into the planet's surface, burning through clouds and flames. The moment it hit the ground, she kicked the hatch open. Her boots crunched red ash. Smoke filled the air. Explosions in the distance. Behind her, 12 soldiers jumped from their pods. This way. Rena shouted. They moved fast across broken metal fields, past giant energy towers. Enemy drones swarmed in. Left flank. A soldier yelled. Rena spun, fired twice. Dropped 2 drones. They reached the outer gate. Blow it, she ordered. A charge exploded. The gate fell. They were in. Deep inside the fortress, alarms blared. A Zarkith officer ran to his command screen. Human forces inside. Multiple squads. Another alien hissed. Activate lockdown. Rena's voice came over the human comms. We're 5 minutes from the shield core. Alara, back on Earth, replied. Copy, but hurry. They're charging another Oblivion cannon. You've got 12 minutes before the fleet pulls out. 12 minutes is more than enough. Rena said. She turned to her squad. Let's make history. They stormed through the halls, dodging plasma fire, jumping over dead Zarkith soldiers. Rena threw a grenade around the corner. Boom. Silence. Then they reached it. The core room. It stood tall, glowing blue, surrounded by 4 shield nodes. A voice echoed from speakers above. So you are the one who killed Varkan. Rena looked up. Who are you? I am Warlord Kravix, his brother, Rena smirked. Then I owe you a punch. You owe me death. Suddenly, the walls opened. Mechs stepped out, 8 of them, weapons charged. Take cover. Rena shouted. The room became a storm of light and heat. Rena rolled behind a pillar. 2 of her soldiers went down instantly. She fired at a node. Sparks flew, but it held. She leapt forward, dodging blasts, and slammed an explosive charge on the node. Fall back. She yelled. Boom. 1 node gone. Her team spread out. Drawing fire, Reyna ran low, fast, and destroyed another node. The shield around the core flickered. "We've got 2 left." Someone shouted. Then she saw him, Kravix, stepping down from above. He was taller than Varkin, darker armor, sharper weapons. "You came here to die," he growled. Reyna looked at him. "Funny, I came to kill." The fight was brutal. Kravix moved fast for his size. His blade slashed across Reyna's chestplate, sparks flying. She hit back, hard punch to the gut, knee to the neck. He grabbed her and threw her across the room. "Your people are weak," he said. Reyna stood up, blood on her face. "We're human. We don't break." She sprinted at him, ducked his swing, planted a mine on his back. Click, boom, he roared. Falling, she didn't wait, ran past him. Shot the 3rd node, fired her last rocket at the 4th. The core screamed, energy building, then exploded in blue light. Above the planet, the shield collapsed. "Now!" Pierce shouted. Earth's fleet fired everything: missiles, plasma, kinetic rods. Zarthus Prime burned. Kravix, still alive, tried to stand. Reyna walked over and aimed her rifle at his head. "This is for Earth," she said. A single shot ended it. She and the surviving squad raced back to the drop zone. Fires raged all around. "Ilara, shield is down," she said. "Objective complete." Ilara's voice was calm. "Copy. Extraction en route." "And Reyna?" "Yeah?" "History will remember today." Reyna looked at the burning sky. "Good. Let them remember who struck first." Back on Earth, people cheered in the streets. Screens everywhere showed the victory. The galaxy watched in silence. Earth, once the hunted, had become the hunter. And this was only the beginning. The Great Hall was quiet. Thousands of eyes from dozens of alien races watched silently, waiting. The enormous chamber was cold and dark, lit only by flickering blue lights that stretched high into the shadows. In the center, a glass cage held Commander Ilara, standing tall and calm. Despite the thousands watching her, she heard the heavy steps of the judges approaching, ancient beings with many eyes, long robes, and voices that echoed like thunder. The head judge spoke first. "Earth has broken the laws of the Galactic Code. You attacked without warning. You killed without mercy. How do you plead?" Ilara looked up, steady and strong. "We defend ourselves." Another judge growled. "You brought war to peaceful systems. You destroyed planets." Ilara's voice did not waver. "You conquered 200 worlds before you found us. We did not start this war." Whispers echoed through the hall. Some judges nodded. Others frowned. A 3rd judge leaned forward. "Then why strike Zarthus Prime? Why destroy the Oblivion cannons?" Ilara met the judge's eyes. "Because they would have destroyed us first. Because if we did not act, humanity would have been erased." Suddenly, an alien voice shouted from the crowd. "You speak as if your species is innocent." Ilara turned her head. "No species is innocent. In war, but we fight to survive. And to protect those who cannot protect themselves." The head judge raised a hand. Silence returned. "You are accused of breaking peace treaties, of reckless violence, of threatening the balance of power. What will Earth do to restore trust?" Ilara thought a moment, then said, "We offer peace, once you accept that we will defend ourselves by any means necessary." A long pause followed. Then from the far corner of the hall, a small figure stood. It was an old alien diplomat, known for wisdom and fairness. He spoke softly. "This trial is not just for Earth, but for the entire coalition. We must ask, can we coexist with a species that fights so fiercely for survival? Can we change old ways to build a future?" Ilara smiled slightly. "If we do not change, we all lose." The hall hummed with tension. Suddenly, alarms blared. Guards rushed in. "An attack!" shouted a soldier. Outside, the massive doors exploded inward. Zarkath warriors stormed in, weapons raised. Chaos erupted. Ilara's guards surrounded her, fighting. Fiercely. In the confusion, Ilara grabbed the communicator. All units repel the attackers. Protect the peacekeepers. She turned back to the judges. This is why Earth fights. Because war comes without warning. The battle was fierce. Alien after alien fell, but Earth's defenders held firm. When the fighting stopped, the hall was scarred and shattered. The judges looked at Ilara, their faces unreadable. Finally, the head judge said, "Your people have shown strength, and resolve. The trial will continue, but know this. The galaxy watches you closely." Ilara nodded. "Then we will show them who we are." Outside, the stars shone bright. The trial of humanity had begun. The galaxy was quiet. The stars burned cold and distant. But one world shone brightly, a small blue and green planet far from the war-torn borders. Its name was Earth. The Zarkith Empire had conquered 200 worlds. Each one fell quickly, one after another. No world stood against them. Until now. In the dark command room of the Zarkith flagship, General Vrax leaned over the glowing map. 200 worlds conquered, he said. One left. One planet stands between us and total control. His eyes narrowed. The humans. Call it home. Shall we finish the job? Asked his lieutenant. Vrax smiled coldly. We will, but this time no mistakes. Far below on Earth, Commander Ilara watched the stars through a large window. Around her, the command center hummed with quiet energy. General Vrax is preparing the final strike, her advisor warned. They will come with everything they have. Ilara's face was calm, but her eyes burned with determination. Prepare. The defenses, she said. This world will never fall. The first sign of the attack came without warning. Sensors flared. A vast fleet appeared on the edge of the system ships, dark and menacing, filled with fire and death. On Earth's surface, alarms screamed. People ran for shelter, but soldiers stood ready. Ilara stood before the massive control panel. All units report. We have incoming fighters from the north, a pilot reported. Shields holding, said the engineer. Missiles locked. On, the weapons officer added. Ilara smiled. Let's give them a surprise. In space, the first battle began. Earth's ships flew fast and silent, using every trick they had learned from past fights. Firing plasma bursts. Shouted Marcus. Piloting a fighter, direct hit. His wingmen yelled but the Zarkith numbers were overwhelming. Keep formation. Vrax commanded. Crush their fleet. Explosions lit the darkness. Ships vanished in fire. Men and aliens alike shouted orders, curses, and warnings. Meanwhile, on Earth's surface, a small group of soldiers guarded a hidden base deep in the mountains. Among them was Reyna Vale, battle-scarred and fierce. Enemy ground forces approaching, said her squad leader. Reyna checked her weapon. Then we fight. Back in space, the battle grew fiercer. Suddenly, an unknown signal scrambled communications. Vrax's face twisted in confusion. What is this? Ilara's voice came through the speakers. You thought Earth was weak. You thought you could take us like the others. You were wrong. The signal flooded every ship. It showed the destruction of 200 Zarkith worlds, images, videos, and warnings. The Zarkith hesitated, on the ground. Reyna's squad fought bravely. They destroyed enemy vehicles and held their position. Reyna shouted, We protect our home. No one passes. Explosions rocked the base. Enemy soldiers charged, but Earth's defenders stood strong. In space, Vrax ordered a retreat. Pull back. He growled, This battle is lost. His flagship limped away, damaged and broken. Ilara watched him go. Today, Earth stands unbroken, she said softly. As silence returned. The galaxy took note. The 201st world was never taken. Earth's quiet. Power had stopped the greatest empire. And far beyond the stars, a new chapter began.